What's up, everybody? Good evening, or good afternoon, or good morning. Let's take a look at these earnings. So we got TTWO and AMAT today. Let's have a look. Okay. What's up, everybody? Hi, Nikki. Hello. Oh my God. It's Jay. What's up, man? Looking at TTWO and AMAT here. Those are actually two equities that I've never traded before, but look pretty good. Well, at least in the bigger picture. We'll go to a lower time frame here in a second. Right, let's take a look. Actually, I had a level here at 205.31. Let's see if we're gonna come down and hit that. That's a level that I just took from the weekly time frame. From here, actually, let's take two levels: 205.31 and then 204.09. And let's see on a 5 minutes. What a candlestick. This is gonna move wild. TTWO doesn't seem as interesting so far. So let's take a look. What's up, Mr. Top? Welcome, and Stussy as well, of course, and everybody joining in and jumping in. Those are, like I said, those are two tickers that I've never really traded before myself. It's actually the first time that I'm taking a look at these charts here today for TTWO and AMAT. I'm just going to mark out some levels here at 138.93 as well for TTWO. That's a good one to come in. It's not very often that you see a candlestick like this, right? On the 5 minute. Oh my God. I wouldn't expect it to just only go up though. Like, seems sketchy. Let's see. We're at all-time highs though for this chart, so that could get spicy, and that's the caveat, that we're at all-time highs. So let's see if we get above 219 and flip that level into support, then this can run way higher. That's maybe the one very interesting thing about this chart, is that I've seen the structure so many times. A lot of you people who are following my week-to-week streams have seen a lot of these similar structures. So looks like we're at the 1272 for this AMAT thing, and that the 1618 is at 283. So that could get quite interesting. So 219 is the main resistance to get above for now, and then in terms of support, would be looking between 204 and 205. TTWO doesn't seem like it's really moving, so let's just maybe put this chart on the left and really focus on the right one here. No, there's not that much that we can do with earnings stream. To me, like always. Oh, and there now we're gonna get some action for TTWO. I got all the way to look at this. Was this level on that chart? Yes or no? Like, did I draw that level out of nowhere? Like, was that there? Comment in the chat. Was that level there at 127.08? Absolutely was there. That's quite interesting to see in the chart. I really want to zoom into this for a second. That's a huge move. I had marked out 127 as the high here of this candlestick, and it looks like we're breaking it. So this could be one that I'm very interested in tomorrow when this gaps up way down lower, and then to trade it back. Now let's see the kind of the volatility here. That 127 level is really very important, and that's literally, I took 2 minutes before this stream going over the high time frame chart on this, and this was the level that, as you can see, I had even put an alert on that. So that is pretty wild. 127. I'm quite sad that I'm unable to trade this myself after hours because I was looking at exactly there. Those are some wild moves, and we'll put the second chart in here as well again. But that would be very bullish, and I would hate to see that this tomorrow is going to gap up somewhere way higher. Well, I was quite literally looking here at 127.08. That's wild. Stussy knew. You saw the line, Stussy. You know that line was there. I was literally looking here, had my alert put on that, and was like, yeah, if I could trade this is something that I would have been on top of. Like, I would have filled bids in here, like at that line and below that line, expecting a rebound immediately. That is completely to be expected on these earnings moves. Now, one thing that, here's a tip, at least on the 5 minute here, like if you see big wicks like that, I'm attaching a lot of importance to the middle. I'm not going to go in depth over that now or even mark it out, but the exact middle of such a huge wick, and that applies on any asset, but that is going to be important. So after this candlestick closes, the middle of that wick could become a very important level to bounce off again. I have sound now. I hope you're all good, TK. Welcome. I hope the sound is working, is picking up on the StreamYard as well. Should be good. Oh, it's on your end, TK, with the speaker. I actually gotta get my my allergy medicines here. It's hay fever season. You gotta bear with me here for a moment, boy, people. Really struggling massively. So actually, what I'm gonna do personally, and without even looking at any specific numbers, because to me that's not too relevant, is these levels. So I'm gonna have some alerts for AMAT at 204.09 and 205.31, and that's a good area maybe tomorrow if we to play around these levels for a bounce back up. And this is like truly very unfortunate that I'm in Europe and unable to trade these after hours. 127 would have been nice. At this point, I would imagine that if you get back above the open price of this 5 minute candlestick, and that if that flips into support, that this could become a massive move to the downside and then a massive rip back up. And that would be maybe also something to look for tomorrow. So a break and hold above 146. That is what you would want to see for bullish continuation. Let me see if I can find some exact numbers on Twitter, but typically I have a hard time finding these exact numbers, and we're just looking at the price action, which is anyways why most people are here, right? It very much does interest me in these earnings streams. They sometimes they give me like insights and ideas for some tickers to put on the watch list, such as this AMAT. This thing is looking very promising to potentially over the next few days or weeks run to 280. But that's not an invitation to just go long here, of course. Ideally, I'd see us go lower before going way higher. Let's see, AMAT. Let's see, I have some numbers here for AMAT. At least I think those are the ones I will try to copy paste that here. Let's see, AMAT, and to put, I think this is what we're looking at for AMAT. I'll just post that on the charts, make it a bit bigger. Looks like these earnings are coming in good, but like I said, I'm never paying attention to these numbers. I'm always paying attention only to horizontal levels on my chart here. So I'm actually not 100% sure if that is accurate. So we'll just keep it out and keep focusing on these lines here, which is way more important, right? I had 3 lines on this chart, and looks like the wicks, like the bodies, are at least respecting these lines. So that is of importance to me. Probably I'll put these. Put both of these on my watch list, and very likely I'll play it tomorrow between 10 and 11 a.m. So I can already even mark out some lines here for tomorrow when I'll be trading. That will be between here and here. Whew. All this spam, all this fundamental related spam, get it out of here. Let's see, 10 a.m. is going to be the time, from 10 to 11 tomorrow. So like I said, it's really only interesting to me to know where this is going to gap up or down tomorrow. So that's why I want to be kind of aware. Looks like both of the stocks are at least down from where they closed earlier today, but I would say above 219 tomorrow or any day for applied materials. Look for that level to flip into support, and for AMAT, to get above, probably you want to get above 149. Yeah, so 149 would be the safer bet. I'm just gonna mark that out for sake of like looking at it tomorrow, for example. Yeah. Let's see, is there anything else that is having earnings right now? We'll see. Earnings calendar. Is Walmart having earnings today? I could be completely wrong, but it looks like that might be the case. I'm not sure. Yeah, looks like they are having earnings. This is kind of more like what I want to see from an earnings move. Instead of just down, let's see. This is one thing that I also want to keep on my watch list for tomorrow. That's for sure. So I'm gonna have a level there at 61. Let's see. I need to get to this exact top here. That's gonna be the level to bounce from. And 61.82. That's going to be one for Walmart also that I'm going to keep in mind for tomorrow. When I see something like this, right, on this chart, like earnings gives a move up, people are going to be buying the top here soon enough, and then by tomorrow I'd like a move, something like this, literally. So you can take a look at this resistance at 61.82, flipping into potentially support, maybe tomorrow, maybe between 10 and 11 a.m. Wouldn't that be something, right? GME, unfortunately, I don't think that they have earnings today. I could be wrong, but don't think that's the goal to look at GME here today. Keeping it to actual companies that are having some earnings. So Walmart, I need to put that on my watch list. I'm glad I did take a look at other things that had earnings. And then this one, I want to see come down into my blue box here. So at this point, I can quite literally be patient with it and look for this scenario on Walmart to carve out a higher low here, or to look for a move in and below this blue box, and then to get out of it again to target this back up for AMAT. And I do apologize with the allergies. My God, the season really started. Let's see what else has earnings. Walmart, AMAT, TTWO. There's quite a lot of things that are having earnings today, but not too many that I actually, maybe this is also one. Let's take a quick look at Under Armour. Looks like this is also, well, this had earnings earlier today, looks like. That is by no means not something that is coming out with earnings now, but that is also something that I've played in the past, and I'm going to be looking for a move above, let's say, 688 for this one. So I'll put my alert on that as well. Under Armour is something that had earnings earlier today, and that's an important level to get back above. So I very much remember that chart. Yes. So if we can break above all these wicks here tomorrow or any day above 688, definitely want to keep it on my radar as well. And then go back to AMAT. And let's see on the 5 minutes. So I'm just running through some tickers here. You can all keep these levels on your radar as well. Nice. Good to see Top in here as well again. A lot of people will still remember the man. So Walmart is going to be on the watch. So what I want to see is a move below 61.82 and then getting back above. So I'm not at all interested to trade it up here. Like, just look at it from a rational perspective. Can this move up in one straight line? Sure, but probably at some point it's going to make another one of these higher lows, right? So it makes sense that you know where to look. This is where I will be looking for Walmart. And well, they recently had their ex-dividend date, so I'm by no means saying like if you buy this here you're going to get dividends quickly, or not, like, not the case. But they are a dividend company as well, so maybe for a long-term position or a hold, I'm also interested to get on board of this, to be honest. So I will be keeping, like, Walmart is probably going to be my my number one thing of interest here. Then AMAT, this is, let's go to TTWO as well again. It's quite unfortunate, right, that after hours is unable, that we're unable, or at least that I'm unable to trade it here where I'm located geographically. So maybe tomorrow we'll come back to that 127 level, but I doubt it. At this point, what I will do though is look at what is the middle of this wick here. So let me just quickly mark that out. That's going to be 130, 131.45. I'm going to put a level at 131.45 as well for TTWO, and I'm going to put an alert on there as well, because potentially tomorrow during regular trading hours we can come back down there and maybe make a higher low in comparison to this wick here. So that's something that I'm interested in for tomorrow as well. I'm going to make sure that all these things are on my watch list. So TTWO is on there. AMAT is not on there, should be on there. And then we have Walmart. That is also on there. Good. I think it's very important to have a nice broad watch list. Not that you're playing everything, but at least like every week I'm adding more and more things that, well, they've had earnings. I've looked at the chart. I think I have some good levels to play from, and then I just keep it on there. And at some point later on, well, it's basically just like going to a buffet and just choosing which one am I going to play. And I'm always going to play the one that is basically coming to me, that is coming to my level. So when I'm looking at price here, like, really the beginner thing is to think that you're going to find a good trade here and now where you're at. But the reality is that you want to look in advance, like, what would you like to see from here? Like, structurally speaking, what would look good? And to me, this is what would look good. So I'm going to have 130, 145 on my radar tomorrow for TTWO for maybe a day trade. A day trade back up into, for example, 138 and this broken support level. So I'm going to put that on there as well. And again, by no means am I saying that this is absolutely, oh yes, this is going to play out. I don't know, right? And if it doesn't, the good thing is that I won't be in a position, so I also won't be losing money on it. But my idea is tomorrow, or again, maybe the next week, but to look for a move from that 131 level back up into 138. So again, I don't know, but I would imagine that if this loses this level, might come down all the way into here and then reverse from there back up. And it's the move back up from 131 to 138 that I'd look to play. But only if I see that 131.45 actually hold, so that I see, yeah, okay, we're coming below it, and at the very least, we're closing a 5-minute candlestick back above. At that point, we'll be looking for a move back up there, putting my stop loss like tightly below 130 probably. So some people find it very important to have like the accurate numbers and everything for the earnings. That is not what I do on the earnings stream. I just try to give you all levels, outlooks, and actionable information to maybe, for example, you do the same thing. You make a watch list, you add in these stickers, you follow along with the levels, you put your own alert there, and then tomorrow we'll see if it comes to us during regular trading hours and if we can get a move as we want. So that is going to be an option. And then the other option that I was talking about was getting back above 149 and then turning that into support. So all the way up there, we would need to break that level all the way up here and really come back to it and make it support. So loosely drawn, very loosely drawn, but something like this. And by then we will have tons of information of candlesticks that are here that we'll be able to put our stop loss somewhere tightly and then play it up from there. That's maybe the nice thing about all these earnings streams. Really does broaden my horizon on the market, makes me less in my own little niche, and I'm like more seeing what is happening around the market. So that's nice. Let's see if I can get one more ticker and a couple more levels here for everyone to maybe take a look at. Just a random ticker name here, but gambling.com. What is this? Looks like this also had earnings, but earlier today, so before the open. That's an interesting chart. I'm just looking at this, right, because it had earnings today. Look, what I'll do with this chart is as simple as putting a line all the way at the bottom, and I'm going to put an alert there, and that's where I would like to go long from. So doesn't matter what this chart is, doesn't matter what this company does, but I know that this is something that I want to see. So I want to see a move below all the way, sweep that low, then get back above it, and then play it back up. So I'll actually put that on my watch list as well. I'm just going over a list here of all the stocks that had earnings today. So it's by no means just TTWO and AMAT. So I would say enjoy all the levels and hopefully it bases in the future. Let's go back here as well. Probably going to stick around for another 5 minutes or so, and at that point call it a day, because this is probably not going to move anywhere significantly anymore tonight. So I'm glad to give out some levels to look at tomorrow during regular trading hours. I think that's the most important. Yeah, good. Just want to clean up my charts, going to make sure that everything's on my watch list. Yes, good. So I really doubt that anything very spectacular is going to happen here in the next 5, 10, 15, even half an hour. I really doubt it. So typically it's always the same, right? Market closes, you get a huge move in both directions. And at that point, price just starts to stale out. And I mean, as a trader, it's not really very efficient to stay around here at the very, especially if you can't trade it, right? But also trading after hours is incredibly, it's very illiquid. Those moves are that's typically not, well, even if I could trade it, I wouldn't. I would always stick with where the most amount of liquidity and volume is, which is both at the beginning and the end of the day of a regular session in the US. So essentially from 9:30 to 11 a.m., 10 to 11 a.m., and then the last hour of the day as well. That's typically when you get the most amount of volume, when it makes the most sense to actually take a position or to do your trading. So this is very, very useful after hours, just to kind of come to the chart at your own terms and take your time to mark out some important levels. So actually, we'll definitely be playing those. Like, don't worry, we'll definitely get some very good swing positions on those in the coming days and weeks. But short term, there's just nothing to do about this, right? So before you head out, could you please check out the screen I shared and AMGN? I think AMGN does not have earnings, so maybe we'll have to keep that for tomorrow, or maybe I'll have to make a post about that, but I can definitely check out the screen which you shared. Let's see. What are you showing me, sir? You're showing me calls on AMGN. You're showing me calls with a positive PNL and a nice green number next to it. So that's amazing work, man. Very happy to see it. You're doing way better than me, at least on these options, because I don't even trade them. I don't even I don't get it. I do not get it. I don't understand all these all these caveats. I think, like, I'll just say that again. I know that I've said this 100 times, but I'll say it again. I think options are the weaker version, or the less sophisticated version of crypto leverage trading, forex trading, and commodity trading. However, that being said, I understand that everybody here likes to trade options, so let's just pretend like I didn't say that. Let's see. Thank you. I bought that. Well, I'm not gonna be repeating all these things, Farouk, but I'm happy to see that you're having a good time, dude. But yeah, that being said, I'm going to head out here shortly. I think there's nothing that much more to do, so I hope everybody was able to take notes of the levels. Like, as always, when you're in the stream with me, you should probably take notes on the levels and look at it tomorrow if you do want to follow along, or next week. So wish you all a very good rest of your evening, and that's going to be it for today. So I'll end the stream.